Swami Vishnu-devananda talks about mortality and immortality, 1989 at the ranch.
Om Shanti 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 Om Namah Shivaya. So we are here. So today is not yesterday. Are you sure? So you are going to hear mortality and immortality. I'm going to go nothing, so I won't have the
Brilliant, brilliant.
I thought of avoiding this, but sunlight. Mortality and immortality. Two things we all know. Please come in. If anyone is asking to come in, so that's the whole. Let's use one. Don't sit on the left. On the left. Make it straight. Make it straight, yeah.
Maybe you want to sit here.
Yeah, the picture. We all know the meaning of mortality. It means the body must go back from where it came. It came from the food cycle and it must go back in the food cycle. You can't stop by any means. No doctors, but Murali cannot stop. Dr. Murali. Oh my, I can see it. Murali was very small, master's. She was a medical student, and her sister, her parents, mother, father is no more. At that time, I also was small too. Jumping and dancing and doing all those things. And now, to climb up, to climb down is very difficult. Because decay has set, decay. That's inevitable law. Flowers. It looks very beautiful now. Some flowers are not even born, they are in the bud stage. There are some buds. And they hit the bud. Definitely. Can you see? And some is opened a little bit, some fully open, some fully blossoms. This will be it will take another 2 days bigger. So in these different stages of decay, second, even the bud, though it's going to open, you call it blossoming. But the natural point of view, it is changing constantly. Every moment it changes. It's not to say, so also you too, your body changes every moment, non-stop. It's like this lamp is burning oil every moment. But what is a moment? Young doctor, you go to another doctor. What's the moment?
A piece of time.
Just tell me how small the unit of time is.
I can't measure it.
Why not?
I don't really know what it is.
Yeah.
As we measure, it's gone.
The unit of present moment is the interval when the future changes into the past. That's not true? Everyone agrees that. That's true or not, doctor? When the future changes into the past, that is the present moment. That present moment we can never able to measure, because before you can catch it and measure it, it is gone. The present moment cannot be caught and measured. Past is gone forever. Past will never come to the present. Can you bring back the past memories? You can bring back. When all this babyhood I saw once he was sitting there, I still remember, And in the rock in the cross position for the Swami Vishnu-devananda as an young boy. Well, the past is gone, except exists only in memory. And the future is always in the future. You can write in the wall, tomorrow I will do my yoga asanas. You can write there. And you come and see tomorrow, what do you see? Tomorrow. So tomorrow comes to today, or future comes to present, before we measure it is gone into the past, past is gone for ever, and the future is only in the future.
In the office to come.
So what is present, past, present and future is only in your mind. So, but one thing is taking place. Everything is moving moment by moment. So, that lamp is burning every moment. You can't say how much it is burning oil at a given moment. Just like the moment cannot be measured, you cannot also see the changes, how much it is changes at a given moment. You can carefully look at my nose. At this very moment, can you see any change? Come on, look carefully. You don't look at the microscope. Even on the microscope, you don't see any. Look at my hair, gray hair. It's also changing at this very moment. Can you see any change? Look very carefully. But all the gray hair did not come all at one fine morning when I got up. Oh my God, I got all the gray hairs. It is taking place moment by moment. If you don't believe it, oh, that's Saraswati. Oh, I will see for a long time, Saraswati. You are observing silence too?
I listen.
So anyhow, moment by moment, when I came first time, I created this center, I didn't have one gray hair. If you don't believe it, just look into complete illustrated book of yoga and you can see all my pictures. And even the picture, you won't ever recognize. When you look at Michael, this Swami Vishnu, this was, not this is. Means was past, it is gone. That Swami Vishnu is dead and gone. The Swami Vishnu which I brought from India in 1957 is no more here. As medical doctor says, every 7 years, every cell in the body, that means the body which you see is not the body which you brought from India. So similarly your body too, so similarly your mother's body too. They are all changes. And I changed it not once. And now 61, how many times I changed? Since I came, 57, 67, 77, 87, about 30, almost about 4 times let us say. Don't worry about 2 days this week. 4 times I am dead. My past is gone. And new person is born. If you still don't believe, look in my complete little Vipassana yoga. That body is no more here. Neither I can do the same thing what I did with that body. So also my mind changed too. I went as a young boy to Gurudev Sivananda Maharaj. I practiced in intense yoga and sadhana. I went to Himalayas, etc. But from Gurudev itself, physical body of the Gurudev itself is no more. It's only in my memory. So also your parents, many of your grandparents, your family members, friends, they're all gone into the past. And you are living in the present. But this present is only in your imagination. But what is happening is, always things move from one thing to another.
Constant change.
That's it. Change is the inevitable law. So time means change. Time means change. Changes. Many things, many barons, prime ministers, they're all gone. As Gurudev says, time sweeps away kings and barons. Where is Napoleon? Where is Nehru? Where is Kennedy? Where is Indira Gandhi? Where is Gandhiji? Where is Hitler? Where is Mussolini? Where is Stalin? They're all
Gone.
They came and 2 days like the stage, they played there as a prime minister, as king, crown, and they just, if they didn't leave, still the time will take away. So also Christ. If the Christ did not die in the cross, he also will eventually will pass away just like any other person. So the change is inevitable. This is called mortality. This change is called, another word is time, kala. Time sweeps away kings and barons. Means this change is constantly going on moment by moment. And this moment we cannot measure, but it takes place everything in by moment. Not only this body, not only this flower, not only this lamp is changing moment by moment, so also this piece of iron is also changing moment by moment. That change you call it oxidation. Oxidation means what? Same thing. This also oxidizes oil,
Decay.
combined with the oxygen. So it's changing. So this New York Center is changing, is it not? When I came here, I remember that was all, can't remember how it was back. Anyhow, we did not well. It changes. It changed. And still changing. Now it came back and we saw a little bit better. Better. It means what? The changes is not only one direction, changes also takes place in the opposite direction too. So, this plant is changing. Oh, a beautiful rose. It is now kept in the water. You can slow the change a little bit by putting in the water, or I can hasten the change faster. You want to see my power? Oh, I don't want. Okay, I take it for you. You want to see? Still no, you may not understand it. Maybe. I take one petal. Now you can see my power. Next minute is color, is beauty, smell also. Still there's a little bit water in my hand. That's what's coming from that petal. Now, you want anyone this right? No one wants it. What is going to take place in 10 days, maybe this may be in the water, it may stay for a longer time. But the same thing, what I can make it also in 10 seconds. As I did now. The whole flower I can press it down. So we can accelerate the change or we can slow it down. But change is You cannot stop the change. Acceleration is possible, slow, but you cannot stop it. It's called mortality. You cannot stop the changes of anything in this universe. So not only New York is, so also the whole New York is changing. Manhattan. What is that? Don't bring it here. What's this? What is that? Keep it outside. Fine. Let us bring the last time. This change is constant. You can slow it down, your aging process, by practicing yoga. But you cannot stop the change. Today, I got lots of lasers. Some new blood vessels are growing. Well, that blood vessel, they said, doctor said, no use. You stop the vision. So they try to destroy that blood vessels by just flash bulb, this he's doing, a flash bulb. It's very powerful beam of laser pinpointing on various blood vessels. They shot the blood vessels, literally like bullets. So, little burning is there, sensitive, but not too much, but anyhow, thank God, that's what I brought this glass in case. These our photographers, this makes it burn my head. So I brought this, maybe let's make it. It flashes. And you can see little flash, but each time a pinprick. Okay, burning intensely for a fraction of a second. So it destroyed the growth. So you can hasten the growth, or you can destroy the growth, or you can slow the growth, but changes take place in the other direction. Example, this circle, a perfect circle, as it might not be, but as a full circle is not the end at least. Is not full circle? Now, which is the beginning in the circle? Where's the beginning? And that one. Anyone can say where's the beginning? Murugan?
Nowhere.
Pardon? Any place can be the beginning. So I say, this is the beginning. This particular area is the beginning. And which is the end then? Which is the end?
For the beginning.
Where the same spot. So if you are looking from here, if I'm counting here, running here, then it's a end, the beginning becomes end. If I'm going the other way, the beginning becomes, the end becomes beginning. And the beginning becomes, end becomes beginning of beginning. So, so then what is death and birth? Or creation and destruction? There are two words. Creation and destruction, evolution and dissolution, or change. All change. But you call it death. But nature doesn't call it death. You call it birth, creation. But nature doesn't call it is creation. It's only for nature's point of view, it's called change, time. You all agree, is it not? From me, who doesn't agree? Everybody agrees. So, the whole Manhattan is changing. I remember also the streets when I came. I was staying in the Cornichons Hotel before even I knew this place existed. In the other 23rd Street, there's a Cornichons Hotel. No, they changed it to something else. Some old people's home or something like that. You know that?
Yeah.
You remember that? What is it? No percentage called? You took the lessons there in Cornichons Hotel? Okay. That's a place. Before I knew anything, I came to New York and they stayed in a $3 hotel with full of rats. That also on the other side.
When you first came to the 21st Street between Park and Madison Avenue.
Yeah, Madison Avenue, that's right. Then from there I moved to Cornichons Hotel. In the last 30 years, it changes. The street changes, the beautiful big buildings coming up and so forth. So the whole Manhattan is changing. Maybe slowly sinking, or the water is coming up. And they bought this Manhattan several years ago, I don't know how long, brought from Indians. How much they paid for this place, the whole part Manhattan? $24. Oh my God, I don't know. But now its value has gone much down after so many years. Its value has gone down. Because, like an old car, you don't give the same price. So it's an old car, New York become Old York. But it changed in the other direction. Skyscrapers came. This we bought at that time for $60,000.
Really?
Yeah, $60,000 about 30 years ago. But now they say it's $500,000 worth.
Oh, more.
More maybe. Its price went up also. The positive direction is not negative direction. Suppose you buy a car, the car value will go. In fact, I heard when I came into I heard they were driving me in a Lincoln Continental from the airport. Who gave this car? My car. You. I said, I didn't allow you to buy a Lincoln Continental. No, Swami Murali gave donation. I like it. So I said, oh my God, how old this car is? He said 76. Oh, that's right. Because I got a Mercedes also 76. And I got a Cadillac 76 years. I didn't change it at all. So 76 years. So now I got a Lincoln Continental also 76 years. Same thing. But its value is not gone up. Its value has gone down. So little squeezy, little this thing, little that thing. It's like the body. But the Manhattan's value has gone up. The car's value has gone down. But still it's changed. Up or down. That's how do you look. So birth and death are not two different things. They are the same. There's no difference at all. From your point of view, it is death. So let's take for example again. When I was saying, sometime I used to eat rose, not just a beauty. No, can you eat rose, brother?
Yeah, I remember you eating.
Good. Tasty.
Delicious.
Delicious. But from the rose point of view, rose saw my teeth. My God. This teeth is going to crush me. He was not very happy about seeing my custody son. They also have life. They also smile. When you smile, they smile. When you are happy, they are happy. They are alive. If you try to give a plastic flower, a plastic rose, who wants a plastic rose? Murali, her husband, said he is going to give you a bunch of plastic rose for your birthday. What would you do?
Give it back to him.
If you immediately give back, not so bad. He will hit him with a evil wife. Don't look at it now. Though I paid $100 for this plastic flower. Makes no difference how much dollar you gave it. It has got no value. But a life flower, which value? It has got prana. So changing of this prana is called beauty too. You all have beauty, your face smiles, and that smile is nothing but prana. So when the flower saw my teeth, it's just like you are seeing the teeth of a jaw. You are swimming in the ocean, in the polluted ocean, but there you saw a big jaw. And he saw all his teeth. You said to the jaw, hey, you got a beautiful teeth. Hey, you never go to dentist. And you never had any brushing. Maybe your teeth is, I must learn the secret. That's what you said. When you saw the teeth of the jaw, or the jaws, that sharp jaw, he said, just like this flower said, my God, I am going to be eaten. So, the death of this body in the jaw's mouth is but for the cells of the jaws. The flower has gone into my mouth. Now it is being slowly digested, assimilated, and become part of my body cell. It was a few minutes ago. It's a beautiful flower, but now it is part of my body. So one thing changes into another. Change is not only one direction or in the same body, but it also can take place into the called. Your body is composed of food, composed of matter. You call it food. But what's composed means it must decompose. Decomposition. Composition and decomposition. Compose. So, we compose this body with eating food. Before we came, we must have eaten some food. And just before I came, we really made some food. And I ate some food, and that good food has been digested now, and my body is changing. And put back into the same food chain. I eat a tomato, or I eat this flower every day, more tomatoes, my body starts growing like a tomato. It is. And you can see it was not the same body. And then, when ultimately it cannot anymore digest food, assimilate food, or eliminate, then it's called, the other side starts. What is it called? Decomposition. Don't say that. That is a wrong word. Decomposition starts. And when it starts decomposing, it starts smelling. The same Swami Vishnu's body is smelling. After 3-4 days, you want to, unless it's preserved, it will be smelly horrible. So what you do, you want to dispose of. So decomposition means disposing. To where? The place from where it came. It came from the earth. That flower, that tomato came from the earth, and I ate the tomatoes. Now you bury me under the earth and cover it nice, and put a tomato plant over me. And the tomato plant will say what? You ate me once upon a time, you remember? Now I am going to eat you. So the beautiful tomatoes will come out of the Swami Vishnu. And you call it what? Tomato. But it is nothing but Swami Vishnu. You are eating the tomato, you are eating Swami Vishnu. Say that in the same chain. And of course, New Yorkers don't eat worms, do you? No, never. But you give the worms to a fish. And fish says, juicy, give me more. So fish start eating the worms and it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And when you are eating the fish, what are you eating? But you call it fish. It's changed. Its composition changes. The form, the long worm becomes short and bulky like a fish. And now you call it fish. You eat. And your body is growing with the fish. And eventually when you are dead, who is going to eat you? Worms. We came back. That's called mortality. You understand? It's very simple. You all know. It's not I had to say all these things. Anything I said is new, please tell me. Did I say anything new which you did not know? Then what I'm talking? Why I'm talking? You already know all these things. Why I'm talking? But you forget this. You identify this perishable, changing body as I am, Swami Vishnu. And you look at the mirror, Swami Vishnu. I'm so happy with seeing that face, so I just put on a little turban. Still I'm not happy, so I put that in the wrapper. Still I'm not happy, so I put some lipstick. Not red, green. Green Still I'm not happy, I put some rings, earrings. Still I'm not happy. Just my... So I put some chain, gold chain. And sometimes Bahamas, people put so thick chain, gold chain, it's all drug money, you know. And that and that gold. They all have the rounded neck. That's very important. You say. We try to keep thinking that I'm going to be immortal if I have a chain, if I have a new type of hairdo or reality, or real thing. What do you call it? That permanent hair. Oh, permanent. The hair is permanent. It's not. It is not permanent. It is changing also. Look at the old make gray hair. If you don't believe it, doesn't matter how much I put the Grecian formula. Though it looks black, but still it is changing. I can take all the vitamins, minerals and so forth, but still it is changing. So the change is inevitable, even not only to this planet Earth, the California, the whole west coast of America called California, which is moving where? Towards north, towards Alaska. And the continental America, which was supposed to call American, is moving southward. So that's called San Andreas Fault. It's not San Andreas Fault, but it's someone's fault, God knows whose fault. So, the California belongs to the Pacific Plate, which moves slowly north, and the continental plate of America is moving south. It's not just, actually, they can measure these changes. Maybe there is story. And some houses are built between this fault, and the living room goes to north, and the bedroom goes south. And in one day they say California will wind up in North Pole, or maybe under Pacific Ocean. So Indian Ocean, the India, you call subcontinent India, where we come from, is not beyond the Asiatic plate. It's beyond the oceanic plate. And the India slowly moved the water all around and slowly hit the Asiatic plate, and suddenly Himalayas is the highest mountain. And still changing, God knows where. In fact, they found out South Africa and South India were connected land. You can see the sediments and rock, etc. They can measure it. South Africa and South India was connected land. And slowly South Africa moved this way, India moved that way, and even Australia was very close to India. In fact, Rama's time went to Lanka. That Sri Lanka is not the present Ceylon. It was the Australia and the Bali, Fiji, all those areas. They were very connected to India, and Australia moved one direction, and South Africa moved to another direction, and India moved another direction. So South America, the Antarctica was part of South America. Antarctica moved one side, and Australia moved another side, and South America moved further away. Constantly changes take place, even this planet Earth. But you never think that. Oh yes, America is real. This is called real estate. There's no real estate. Neither your hair is permanent. It is impermanent. How many $50, $100 is cost to make it permanent? How much it costs? $50? How much? Hairdo, eh?
She knows about $30.
To how many?
About $58.
Yeah, but $58. And you thought permanent you are going to get. You know that that's not permanent. How many times you made changes? Even with all the permanent, still the hairs are getting changing, and the gray is also falling, and new hairs coming up. So this is called for the galaxies. Not only sun, moon, sun itself is burned. 5 billion years the sun is burning, just like this lamp. Half of its lifespan is gone. And another 5 billion years, the whole planet, the sun will burn up. So then what is left in this universe? Changing. And you think it's mine. That is bringing pain eventually. So be wise. Be wise. That's called purpose of satsang, is to make you understand there is no such thing as permanent in this universe. Everything is changing. There's nothing reality in this world. There's no real estate. Even New York is not a real estate. It's a changing estate. Nor this United States. It's divided state. Everything is divided. Decomposition takes place. Even politically, you can know the civil war, the North and South fought in America, and they're united. And eventually it will again divide. That's no guarantee. So the whole world is changing. So galaxies are being followed by another galaxies. Our sun is only one small tiny speck with few planets like our Earth. And that's also changing. So there's nothing in this universe you can keep. That's called time, that's called mortality. But you can go that direction or this direction, but changes. But you cannot always say change must take only in one direction. That's not possible. So, death of the plant is the birth of this body, my body becomes, and then death of this body brings in new flowers, new buds, new fruits, new objects. But you cannot create matter, nor you can destroy matter. This is the law of the science too. The same matter has to change, which you also know. Scientifically, matter cannot be destroyed, nor matter can be created. But the same matter has to go on change, different direction. Before it was invisible, this flower, it was just planted under earth as compost. Old flower fell down, old leaf fell down and became compost, and then it started making into another and the compost into beautiful flower. The same earth, same decomposed material, it becomes flower. Positive say, and then it will fall down. So that's called mortality. And if everything changes in this universe, everything moves in time, then something will not change. Something will not change under any condition. That's called, what's called, name of that?
Immortality.
That's called? That's called changes thing.
Atma.
Have you seen Atma? Anyone has seen? Where is he? Where's that Atma, or self, or soul, whatever the name you want to call it? It's also called of God, Brahman, Supreme Being, Father in the heaven, Allah, etc. Various names is Krishna, Shiva. But that is substratum. That substratum, the witness of these changes, the witness of the changes will not change. There's only one thing which will not change, that witness. That's called God. That God is not in Jerusalem or in Mecca or in Benares or up in the heaven. If it's up in the heaven, astronauts would have found out when even that. There's no up or down also. Here from here, up is that way. In India, this side is up is that way. Down is up. So there is no such thing as God seated somewhere up or somewhere down or somewhere in the heaven. If he's living in somewhere heaven, then you are limiting him. You can put an object in a space, but when it's an infinite thing, you cannot put in space or in time. That's called God. You cannot limit him in Benares or Mecca or Jerusalem or anywhere. Then you are saying, oh, God is only in Mecca, God is only in Benares. Then you are limiting him. You think he is finite object. Then God is not a finite object. He is infinite, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. There's a quality we give. If that's omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, omniscient, then there is no change in time and space. And you cannot limit him somewhere, only in some place. He is everywhere. And that's the God, you limit him, thinking he is all subject to time and space. He's got qualities. There's no quality for God. Only one quality is inherent quality. It's like the inherent quality of the fire is, it burns my finger because it is hot. You take the heat from the fire, there is no fire. So fire and heat are one and the same. So the one inherent quality of God is called Sat, Chit and Ananda. Sat means existence, it is eternal. It neither past nor exists in the past, nor in the present, nor in the future. It's called permanent. If it changes, it was something like my old body and body, and now it becomes present body, old body, and soon it will get decomposed and become the flower or fruits, or eaten by the worms and germs, then that cannot be immortal. That changes. But the God will never change. That's called immortal. Existence means eternal. It's no time. Chit is consciousness or knowledge. That means, just like this lamp, not only hot, it is also light. It gives light. It illumines darkness. So your very nature is consciousness, knowledge. There's nothing you have to learn from me. In fact, I did not say anything which you did not know. You already know that. The consciousness, the knowledge is within you. You are that knowledge. Consciousness. Then Ananda, bliss. Your nature is Ananda. If you take these three things, Ananda, bliss, that's what you're looking for. What are you looking in your life? Happiness or pain? What are you looking?
Happiness.
And then what are you getting?
Pain.
Don't tell your mom. Your daddy said he is going to bring lots of food. Is he here? Daddy can keep all. Just now, as soon as he came down, he thought he is going to bring lot more food. So don't run away. Because usually they're bringing lots of food. They brought some food. So don't tell your daddy. He is paying off. He is also getting pain. How? By, yeah? He is taking care of you. He has to pay money for your tuition. So they're also getting paid. And sometimes you don't take care of them, you don't care about them, so they get paid too. Sometimes I love you, daddy would say. Sometimes you just say, go to hell, daddy. You won't say that, but you know, you can say, I love you, honey, then you can say, go to hell, honey, also. Opposite direction too. Yes, thing changes. But that immortal self, Atman, or soul, the witness of all your actions, even when I'm talking, he's listening, he's witnessing, oh yes, Swami Vishnu is laughing. Yeah. Swami Vishnu's hand is moving. He watches that, just like you're watching a movie or a television or Hitchcock movie. Have you seen a Hitchcock movie? Yeah. When you watch a Hitchcock movie, what did you do? You? Frightened, scared, isn't it? Why? Why? Why are you frightened by looking at a movie or a television? You can see how it is television is done. See, he is doing it now. And just some films or some tapes and it's played back. You know it is an illusion, is it not? Mm-hmm. There is no Jaws or Frankenstein coming out of the closet. As Hitchcock moves, suddenly they open the closet, skeleton falls down, or you can say another room is open, which is locked for days and years, and suddenly a chair which has been turned down, and suddenly an old woman sitting there with all the hair still there, but the teeth are gone and the face is only just raw, the bones. And of course the bones are very still, the old gown is there. Ooh, you're frightened. You know that it is just an illusion, but you're frightened. Why you are frightened? You are not a hillbilly. You know how the movie has been done. And you look at the film, you don't see anything to frighten. But when you put on the movie and start running in a specific speed, and you watch that with your eyes and perceptions, my God, you are frightened. But you take the same film or same tape, you can't even see anything. At least in the film you can see something. In the tape he's doing, there is nothing. You can just, the recorded film and unrecorded video film, the tape looks exactly same. And you are not even frightened. But when you put on a machine and suddenly lights and colors, you're frightened. What is the cause of the frightening?
It seems real.
Why? Why it is real?
You get that it's an illusion.
Ah, that's the cause of it. You've forgotten. What is forgotten?
That you're in a theater, that you're going to see a movie.
That's all you've forgotten? What have you forgotten? What is forgotten? What is that?
That you're saying.
You've forgotten that I am. I am. That I you've forgotten. The bigness, the consciousness I am. Sat, Chit and Ananda. That thing you've forgotten. That's called God. And that God, that's the Sivananda self Atman, you've forgotten. An example, when I was first time, the exorcism came, that movie, I was in England. I had seen real exorcism when I was 10. My great late uncle was an exorcist, in Mantravadi we call it. he knows certain mantras by which he make a mandalas and make a woman come and sit there who has been possessed, and I seen about 5 or 6 strong men stands there, and she makes all types of make from rejecting food, meat, etc. to make that spirit drink, so the spirit will be happy with. And then she starts chanting. Within few minutes, the woman becomes so strong, her voice changes, and not only about 5 or 6 men cannot hold her at that time. She's just an ordinary housewife, and she eats about 10 people's food. They're like, it's not with that, with the fork and spoon. She takes both as a hungry person, he eats everything. It doesn't matter what it is, sweet or makes no difference. Sweet and sour and pungent all mixed together, just follows. And 5 people's maybe, 6 people's food she will eat. And then the magician said to cut short the story, okay, you have to leave this woman and get away. And the spirit is accepted. Okay, he's happy, it seems, whatever it is. And then she becomes normal, very normal. Like an ordinary housewife, as she was. Her voice back to a woman's voice, and a loving wife or mother, she's got her husband is standing there. And after 15 minutes, she goes back and eats her normal meal. I've seen this. I was studying a little bit physiology and biology, etc. But what happened to 5 people's food she ate? In fact, there was food, it was there in front, and all disappeared through her own mouth, and there's only one place to go, and actually if it goes from here, it must go to the stomach, and then must go to smaller intestine to big. You all know that, I don't have to explain. You are not hillbillies again, I remind you. But then why did she afterwards, normally she went and ate her food. What happened to her the food? What explanation any scientist doctors can give? I watched this when I was a young boy in my school time. I watched this every new moon day it is done. That's not a full moon day, a dark night, That's the time spirits will manifest more better. And anyhow, I watched these scenes, so I know how that the one of the spirit, one of the time, she was very bad spirit, and she was invoking the spirit, and spirit manifested. She became very violent, and so many gods tried to, but she's so bloodthirsty, that spirit. She wants to just bite the magician itself, the late aunt who was performing, and there's no way to stop that immediate thirst for blood. So what he did is he just cut his own wrist, and he applied that on the mouth of that woman. And the spirit became quiet. Of course, from the Western scientific point of view, this is all just illusion. But spirit world do exist. That will come back to stage. So I just gave it this example. So I went to see the exorcism. I want to see, everyone says about this movie, people are fighting Swami, people are just scared about it. So I want to see, I said, read exorcism. I want to see how these people created this illusion. So I said, in London, I was staying at the London Center. So please, I am going to see this movie, and so take me, I want to see it. So we got a taxi, London taxi, and then few of the staff also came and jumped. Swamiji, I also want to come. So it's a London taxi, quite big, Anyhow, and one student came from California. She's also was one of the staff. And Swamiji, I was afraid to go to see the movie, but you are going, I will come with you. I said, you are coming from California, Hollywood, yes, in movie, why are you afraid of this thing? No, Swamiji, I am not afraid, but I am afraid, because you are coming, so I will definitely go with you. Then I explained to her, it takes about 15 minutes or 20 minutes of taxi drive. See, it is an illusion. Have you seen a movie taken? It's a film. At that time, there was not even video cameras are not very common, I think. So you see yourself film, then you take the film. Are you afraid? No. And when the movie was shot, it is also unreal, because you have seen the Hollywood studios. That studio is only front. You can sometimes the 5th Avenue, 8th Avenue. What you see, just exactly the yoga center, all the buildings. It's all made of plywood, but it looks like real. And inside you go, and open the door and go inside. What do you see? Daddy, come here. I told about you are bringing lots of food. Come in so they can see. Definitely they will believe me, otherwise they won't believe me. Come in, doctor. Dr. Larry, Murali's husband. You can sit somewhere. Okay, thank you. You brought lots of food? Thank you. Then on they will sit. Otherwise they won't hear my lecture, they said. So I explained about she's an intelligent girl, Hollywood. Yes, you all must have seen Hollywood studios, is it not? Or make believe. It's only front is there, behind there's only some post holding the front. It's all just yes, I have seen that. I know that. I know how the film is shot. So it's a double illusion, not only single illusion. Because the movie itself, it looks like a 8th Avenue, but it's nothing but 8th Avenue. It is just a plywood. It looks like 8th Avenue, including the band signs, exactly the exact replica. If you think, oh my God, how did I come here? So when it's shot, it is of the illusion. It's just film. It's just nothing but light and shadow. Why you're afraid? So I explained that the truth. There is no truth. It's all unreal. So don't be afraid. Say something. So said, I'm not afraid. See, I make a repeat, I'm not afraid, I'm not afraid. It's an illusion, I'm afraid. I made it repeat several times. So by that time we got the ticket, we got inside, and then lights slowly dimmed, and then suddenly the screen came to life. The screen is nothing but what? The substratum. Don't forget that substratum. The screen is the substratum, the witness, the abdomen. It has got no color. It's got no waterfalls or no blood, no jaws, no exorcism, no exorcist. It is just a plain white screen. And suddenly the white screen became live. And everyone was watching carefully. And suddenly she said something, I will sit next to you in case something happens. So it was next to me. And suddenly, she started vomiting the pea soup and the bed started shaking. I was just watching, how that made this illusion of the bed shaking and what type of things, how she's able to vomit. Must have given some doctors know some things that was pea soup or whatever it is. Anyhow, so I said, it's an illusion. She was repeating. I told her to repeat. So I hit her. Come on, stop. Don't cry. It's an illusion. And she closed her eyes and said, it's an illusion. And the moment she opened the eyes, again she started screaming. The whole silence. I think the whole, she's bringing the whole people down, This went on for the whole thing and we came out. Now tell me, I am also watching, and she also watching, of course others also. But I was not scared. Why? I was thinking, I know I am watching an illusion, and I want to see how the illusion is being created. But she has forgotten herself and started identifying with the illusion. That's what happens. So an ordinary movie, Hitchcock movie or Jaws, can frighten you just watching light and shadow flashing on the white silver screen, which there's nothing there. There's no bombs, no sharks, no jaws, no spirits, no ghosts, no piece of vomiting. Even the vomited piece of, was it staining the screen? No, it did not stain. And when someone struck, you can, the blood is flowing. And was it stained by the blood? It appears to be. But the moment the movie is gone, the screen became again just as white. There was an explosion hydrogen bomb. My God, the whole world was disappearing as we saw that. But when the light is off and the machine is switched off, projector, that screen is exactly. And hydrogen bomb did not destroy, nor the fire did not burn, nor the water flood, etc. did not make you wet, nor the air did not blow you out against a storm blowing by after hydrogen bomb explosion. You saw the the day after or day before? What was the name?
Day after. Yeah.
Day after, not day before, or day. Okay. You saw that. I'm sure everyone must have seen that. And because violent windstorm, the firestorm is burning everything. Everything is breaking down. Steel, evaporating steel, planes that are evaporating. You saw that. But after all these things, when the projector is switched off, that silver skin is still without having any damage. That illustration is sufficient to understand how we are being controlled by Maya. That Hitchcock movie created by a mind called Hitchcock, it created the illusion. And we brought that in the silver screen and put that illusion, and you are screaming. Why? Because you've forgotten your reality. Same thing. If an ordinary movie can create this illusion, how much this great cosmic Maya, the greatest Hitchcock ever invented the whole world. And she creates this Maya, this illusion, and then he gets the few bones, some bone here, a big thick bone, and then put on a 7 cervical vertebra, and then 12 thoracic vertebra, and then 5 cervical lumbar vertebra, and then put hitches to ball and socket, and then put a big thigh bones, and over that kneecaps, and over that this thing, and put two eyes and the eyeballs there, and the eye sockets, and put the 2 plastic things, whatever it is, and then put the eyebrows here, and then put these things, and then put the cheeks and the ears in the right directions, and put some skin over the thin skin over that, and cover all the dirt with the skin. Oh, honey, how beautiful you are. The illusion started. I love you, honey. Start repeating the new mantra. I love you, honey. I love you, honey. See, the illusion. Suddenly, so many girls are there with you. You also so many girls. But one girl, suddenly, something twisted there. Without her, you cannot live now. Oh, honey, if you don't marry me, I'm going to kill myself. Oh, don't kill yourself. How much money you got? I got $5 million. Oh, yes, I love you too. Illusion the other way too, you know. The other illusion, one direction. Her beauty, her skin, and that smoothness all attracted him. That's an illusion. That's all. You take the skin off from that. Who will look at me? Even if I'm speaking without my skin, who will hear me? Who will come? He will all run away from here. Look at me. As I remember, when Dr. Murli was a medical student, she was very small. She came to our master's after my master asked, have you dissected her whole body? I dissected whole body, so have you done it alone? But I didn't remember the answer. Have you dissected the body all alone?
All alone.
All alone. Huh?
No, we always do in group.
Good. But master asked a question. Have you dissected the body all alone? That illusion of beauty is just covered with thin skin. You take the skin off. It's horrible to look at this illusion. Opposite direction. So, $5 million. What $5 million? Just a name. And write checks, or maybe somewhere. I never seen my $5 million. Even if it is there, it's somewhere in the bank, and I take it. You know why? I went and asked. I got money in the bank. I want to take it because the manager said, you know, your money is the very bottom from the $1 million customers. We have that put the money over it. Your money is the very bottom. You can't take it now. So I can get my money. Illusion. Illusion. Everywhere illusion, Maya. That Maya is called mortality. Great experience of time, space, causation. It is real. It is death is real, birth is real, creation is real, beauty is real, permanent. There's nothing but it's constant. That Maya creates this illusion, this changing object as the permanent. The changing body as permanent. And suddenly, you're tired of looking at this illusion. And how long you can watch a movie, Hitchcock movie, or any other movie? 24 hours can you watch it? So you are tired. Go, there's lots of food, and in fact also it happened. Once I was, first time when I came to California, I was the EEG, the electroencephalograph came at that time. It used to be a huge room. Now we got same electroencephalograph. The two microchips, you know, put it very small. At that time it was for tubes, you know, like old radios and televisions with the tubes. And so I was the first guinea pig, and UCL, California, they invited Swami Yogi has come. They want to experiment how the yogis can take it. So I was trying to all over, maybe EEG with all the books, etc. And why I went there for that experiment, not because I really wanted, but you know, I didn't. And they said they'll give you $50 a day if I go for experiment. Oh my God, $50, that is 57. First of all, I was starving, I didn't have any money to live anywhere. And they said they gave $50. Oh, I don't mind it. I just go and let them do the experiment they wanted, you know, and they get $50. So I had so many things. Anyhow, the next room, that another man out there got the same, another job, another experiment going on. He had to do only one small thing. He had to watch television. Television, that's right. And at that time we don't have the remote control, the present remote control by the beams. Those days the remote control is lots of wires coming from these things, and so he has got he's got a comfortable sofa and chair. And only he had to do one thing. He also been paid $50 just to watch television. And 8 hours. He has to watch. And if it is like one channel in California, even those people have several channels, and so they can change the channel by remote control. You can change the channel, and every type of food and drinks are there, and anything, any new thing you can order. Just call them and they will bring and give you any food, any amount of food you can get, any amount of drink you can get, any amount of anything you want. And the only thing is to watch. If you don't like change, if you don't like one channel, you can change to second channel, third channel. Only watch 8 hours television in a comfortable sofa. That's all he has to do. And you also got $50. And then it is a Wall Street Journal at that time wrote an article afterwards, and Yogi came and experimented. And there was another experiment going on next door. And this experiment, he had to watch television for 8 hours. And the purpose of that experiment is what? My experiment, of course, is how yogis get struggled, or whatever it is. And we do all the asanas, we say all those things. But what's the purpose of the man watching 8 hours television? What's the purpose of it?
See how long you can watch.
Eh?
To see how long you can watch.
You know what I'm saying?
His energy is depleted.
That.
Does he get bored?
Eh?
Does he get bored watching?
The whole purpose, how a person becomes tired by doing nothing. That's the whole purpose of the experiment by UCLA. And I was the one room with all the experiments going on. They were putting all the glass of beans and EEGs and heart rates, and they had to walk on a treadmill, and all. But the other person, nothing has to do. Eat, drink, and just lie down or just change the channel. This is exactly that it asked. Why people get tired by doing nothing. And that person is tired more than a person working 8 hours hard labor. That was experiment's conclusion, anyhow. So by watching this illusion, like Hitchcock movie or this experiment, you can have all the drinks in this world, all the pressure things, and all the beautiful soft bed you needed, all the ornaments, gold ornaments, and diamond rings, and diamond things, and the 100 permanents, and the 200 beautiful faces, and channel 5 and channel 6 also. Some people wear channel 5, channel 6.
But what channel? Channel 5.
What do we call it? The perfume, the first perfume, the channel. Well, so they are wearing that perfume, and that smell like maybe like some ox or some cat, that all those perfumes are made up of these set of the various animals, etc. I know you all know the story. Anyhow, that cost $50. They put all that permanent things and all the lipsticks and all the things, and watching beautiful girls and beautiful boys and the handsome body, but still they get tired and bored. If you have more of wealth, more of nothing to do, you will be more bored and more mental diseases come. Do you know that? Your life is unbearable. What's making bearable? Why you are able to sit here? Because you had a horrible day. Otherwise, you won't just sit without any food. You won't come and sit here. It's not because I am a comedian or make your life happier than you are when you came here. Not because you came for food, though Dr. Larry made some beautiful food, it seems. That's not the purpose you came here. And yet you are sitting here because if your life is not horrible there, you won't come and sit here. Sorry, a young man was hitting the head. He's got everything. He's a rich man's son. And what's the word forgotten? Arun is their son. He's over my doctor. And Arun's the parents gave everything. He's got a sports car, and he's got a Cadillac, and he has got this, and he goes and dance and music with the girls. And the morning he goes for these things, and evening he goes sports car, and he watches movies and goes for dance and comes back, and he's got lots of money. And then he travels from one day to another in Paris, another in New York, etc. He travels around, and all the money. And yet he was one day hitting his head on the wall. A friend came and asked, "Hey, what are you doing?" Can't you say I'm doing? But are you not? Don't it? Does it make any feel painful? Oh no, it's wonderful. Why? How is it wonderful? When it stops, it's so beautiful. When it stops, I'm hitting there after several times, so much pain. When I stop, I feel so.
Good.
Because everything he's doing, he's driving the cars and eating and drinking and dancing and girls and all these things. He's tired of that, so he wants to do, so that will be little bit change of his routine. And though it's painful change, he did that, and then he became so happy when he stopped. That's what you're doing. Because you had so much knocks and blows. Someone must have lost so much money in the stock market, and someone's wife ran away, someone divorced, someone got them married, and someone was all these things you are having different problems, your family, children, etc. And okay, let me go and sit on the hard floor and hear Swami Vishnu. If that pain is not there, you will not come and sit here. Do you know that? That's called Maya. That wife, that children, that home, that family, that cooking, that beautiful food and smell and bathtubs and color televisions and videos and so forth, all you abandon everything. Oh, come on, I want to forget all these things. Let me sit on the hard floor and hear Swami Vishnu. And you're paying for it also. Make sure that they are paid. But you have to be prepared. Because the pain is so much there. So, what I'm trying to tell you all is Maya, illusion, create this imperishable body, perishable body as imperishable, this unreal body which is changing constantly, as you can see, everything this is changeless. And this dying body which is going to decompose, the body must decompose eventually. Everything discomposed body is permanent. It's real. That's called Maya, the cosmic illusion. Just like the movie, that ordinary light and shadow in the screen can change because you've forgotten the screen as well as forgotten you. So now, immortality means opposite direction. You see this changing nature of the universe, your home, your family, your money, your bank balance, your beauty. Again, I remember a long time ago when I first time came to Val Morin, I was building my house and started only. We were cutting the wood and building a house. Hollywood, one of the small directors, he came and Swamiji, I come from Hollywood and I heard yoga and you are a yogi. Is it possible you can help somebody? I said, what's the problem? Oh, she's a very famous movie star, and she's got depression, and she doesn't want even to leave. Who is the person? Then he told the name, Marilyn Monroe. I said, I don't know anybody. I never even heard that. Who is Marilyn Monroe? And oh, she's known. She's got sex god, and everyone worships her, and so forth and so forth. And then I said, you can only bring a horse to the water, but you can never make drink. So you can bring her here. If I ask her to get up at 5 o'clock and meditate and do asanas and pranayama, and she said, is there any pill or any by touch I can make her well? That's not possible. That's not yoga. Yoga, you must realize that God which is within you. And her depression, her whatever the condition she is going is, she is unable to see this beauty, real beauty, that's Ananda. That beauty she did not see, and she's only thinking her body is good as a sex god. Everyone is looking at her body as a beautiful thing and worshipping her not because of anything except that covered the skin, etc. In fact, afterwards, I saw a picture after her. 1 week afterwards, she committed suicide. This actually happened after 1 week, so I know the story. And then I saw her picture in a very beautiful movie star picture, and the next week they put an autopsy afterward, they performed the autopsy, and you have to look at the same, they put side by the two pictures, the same beautiful figure, it's like ghastly if you have to look at that, frightening, the beauty. So the illusion created is unimaginable, brought pain to her, because she could not take, she's growing old, her beauty is disappearing, and she knows she cannot stop this growing old or changing her beauty, and no one will just give her the same kind of respect as she used to get, or love, or whatever it is. So she could not bear that pain. She thought her beauty is permanent, money is permanent, all the wealthy people, all looking at her as a goddess, etc., all is going to finish. So the Maya illusion changed into nightmare for her. She won't trust to anybody else. businessman to set up towards some private life. He's afraid of seeing anybody, so he's really afraid. Everyone is only wants her body and no one is caring about her. Truly, no one loves her. She really wants love, but no one actually really loves her. That's not her whole problem. There's nobody that loves her. In fact, no one, they only want her body, just like Howard Hughes, also in Bahamas, staying in Paradise Island. People he doesn't want anyone to see because I want to come near him. Anyone comes near him, he thinks this only comes for money. He also wants love, but how can you, with that $60 billion, how can I trust anybody here? Tell me. Do I trust any of my students with $60 billion? Oh my God, I won't even sleep. But now I gave all this, I don't even come to New York Center. I just say, why? Because there's no money here. There's no there to survive. They have to cook the food, they have to carry the food, and everyone has to survive only by serving you all. So I know that I can sleep soundly and went to my Laurentians or Himalayas, cave I can be. So the illusion, you've forgotten the reality, the substrat and the silver screen, which is imperishable. There's atom bomb, hydrogen bomb, nothing could destroy it. So your self-Atman, the soul, the Satchidananda Atman, Ananda bliss, that's what you want. No one wants pain. But that Ananda is not external. It is the state inside your nature. So the knowledge you are getting is not outside, not in the books or in the library. It is yours. You are that knowledge, like the fire and the heat. And your existence, there's no change in you. That Atman is eternal. And that is subtracted. Just like the wind cannot blow, as Krishna says in the Gita, he was prayed about Atma, Arjuna. You think you are going to kill all these people? They're already dead and gone. So he showed. But that soul is Achedyoyam. It cannot be cut, it cannot be burnt, it cannot be destroyed, it cannot be blown up by the wind. It is Nityam Sanadana. It is eternal, permanent. Arjuna, you should not worry about death and birth. This is only just a cosmic dance going on. And that is in nature of the world, time and space. It moves, death and birth and birth and death. The soldiers will die and they will come back and they will be born again as kings and so forth. Again they will come back, again they will fight. Hitler is dead and gone. That's what you think, is it not? He will come back again, another Hitler. But maybe changing the name will change. Look at that Hitler, he was a corporal. He was just an army corporal in World War I. A corporal became one of the world's most powerful terrorists in the world. 25 million people died because of that one person. And then eventually, how many times his life was attempted to destroy him? I got the films of, they're rebuilding all the, I collected lots of that, Hitlers and Mussolini, Stalins, etc. 60 times his life was attempted to destroy. Just even last on the bomb, they put it under his table in a conference, and someone just pushed it up because it's disturbing him. Just 3 feet away, just 2 seconds or 1 minute before, just push it away. Just 3 feet away, otherwise Hitler would have dead. But Hitler was not supposed to die so easily. That's easy. Somebody without doing the bomb blast and he is gone. But his people died. The concentration camp in Auschwitz, I ever saw that. The sign is there. What will free you? That's the front of the Auschwitz camp. Inside you go there, all barbarians hanged. The hanging cases, the people were hanged day and night, and the people were shot day and night, and all those you can say how the death chamber, one priest was shouting prayer every day because no one knows who these people are going to be shot. I think he will shout from that small cell. He's also going to condemn. In 20 days, he shout prayer for all the people. He cannot see but through his small tiny window. That's the only thing they can hear before they've been shot. And thousands of every day. This goes on, ritual. And this priest, and then he's a Polish priest, and a daughter. And it's wonderful, his courage, to shout prayer. He doesn't care about his own death. That's called mortality. Because he knows that the immortal self of God, he is there. His body they can destroy, but he knows. But he's a priest, he can do. But others are going to be shot. They're terrified. Actually, the prayer at the last moment here, in fact, I think he's going to be christened as a saint now. I think I've started the process. I think he deserves. Just at that extreme painful, his own death, he didn't care. That means he realized something immortal in his death the bullet cannot destroy him. But all the ordinary people cannot understand this. So he shouted prayer. And inside there's a sign also. Once they enter into that, the only way you can escape from here through the chimney. It's there, it's written clearly. Everyone comes and see these things because there is no way they can escape. Maybe somebody will live for 5 days and the priest may live 25 days or 30 days. They got a priority. Who is going to die immediately? Who is going to a chimney immediately? Who is going to die? And then another place, another big camp where the train will come inside and then the men and women are separated and every 9,000 bodies have been cremated and the ashes coming chimney going day and night and it's falling on the land nearby, person's land. And it's all been fossilized as human ash falling from the heaven. And no one cared about it. So you see that problem. If that Hitler could not die like that, the people been frightened. They can only go 2 minutes. I got the pictures there also. They put the human hair piled up and the spectacles and glasses and children's worn out shoes and so forth. And the teeth has been pulled out, to extract the teeth. There's mountains of teeth, all exhibitions are still there. And then the picture of the old toilets, the rows and rows of toilets. These prisoners, once you go into the toilet, they have to get permission and only allowed 2 minutes. They have to rush to the toilet and if they are more than 2 minutes, either they're dead or they'll be killed or shot. Do you understand that even 20 days of that hell, they prefer to die than to live. So Hitler cannot die by that accident, by bomb explosion. That's the very present way to die. He didn't even know there was a bomb. Next minute his body is blown up. That's wonderful. But he himself has then one of his private secretary during the bunker. She says how horrible that bunker was. There was only few big Nazi people were there, including Hitler and his wife, the Eva, and the private few secretaries were there. And the Russian tanks are coming. They can hear the sound. Now they are all like a rat trapped and she explains the situation. And everyone is thinking which way to die, either to die through the bullet or take poison. That everyone, and then the private secretary, the Eva, his wife asking, they married only 1 day before they die. That's what Hitler is thinking now. Then the private secretary said, I got the film, He said, my God, I thought you knew what Hitler is thinking. Hitler would not even trust anybody. He was alone. He is all the dreaming how his life has been disposed of, either by bullet or by poison. That is more painful now. He had to take his own life. He thought he was going to conquer the world in 2,000 years. That's called Maya. He thought it's the power. That Maya creates the illusion of power. Hail Hitler, my God. People will scream and all that vanish with the one bullet, 10 cents bullet. That's all it is. All the Hail Hitler power is gone, disappear. So that Maya creates the illusion that he is going to rule the world. So in conclusion, what I'm trying to tell you are, do not use this. Power is an illusion, money is an illusion, beauty is an illusion. For the holiness, I am great Swami Vishnu-devananda is also an illusion. That Buddhist illusion is I am great Swami. Look at all the flowers and the melon wood apple they brought me. I don't know who brought it. Nice. Yeah. This all illusion Maya. But what is reality you've forgotten? That's your Satchidananda Paramatma. That's self. That self is not just myself, not yourself, it's only one self, universal self, God. That thou art. That's called immortality. When you realize this, even intellectually, every day meditate, I am Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, or I am my Father, or what as Jesus said, I am that I am. As was heard in the burning bush, Moses saw the burning bush and asked, who are you? The question was answered, I am that I am. I did not say I am God, I am that I am. There is no name or form for it, no time, no space, no quality, no existence. I am that immortal self, but he did not say that. I am that if anyone knew it. That's the truth. And so the truth is told in all religions. Jesus said, I am my Father, when he did not say, I am the son of Mary and Joseph. I am a Jew. He was a Jewish rabbi. He did not say, I am a Jewish rabbi. He did not even be a Christian. Jesus was a Catholic or Protestant. You did not know that? He was a Catholic. The Pope says he was a Catholic. And he basically in Ireland says, no, he is a Protestant. He was not even a Christian. Not his disciples were Christians. They're all carpenters and fishermen, all Jews. There's only Jews existed. But he never identified with that body as I'm a Jew, I'm a rabbi. I said, I and my Father are, but I, you do not know. Jesus realized that I. That's called immortality. When you identify with I, the consciousness, I am, Ananda, I am existence, that subtraction, the silver screen, is Atman. That's called immortality. But if you've forgotten that and identify with the spiritual body as I am, then I had need laser treatment and this treatment and change in the teeth and change in the eyes, with all the things, but still I will change. And you will go back to where you came from. Your composite body will decompose and smell horrible. And that skin itself is create the illusion. And then you add the illusion by adding little bit lipstick and little channel file, little bit this, you add the illusion further by your own Maya. Your own mind create the illusion. You want to be beautiful, so you look on the ornaments and this and that. But you are the beauty of beauties. But you don't know that you are the beauty of beauties. But you are identified with this unbeautiful, perishable, ugly, smelly body as real and beautiful, and try to make it beautiful by going to get permanent. So man, don't be fooled by this Maya. Come to satsang. And bring some money, don't forget that. So that's the purpose of satsang. Because we know all these things, whatever I said, nothing is new. Dr. Larry, did you say anything new about the body, the smelly body?
Not really.
Huh?
Not really.
But you saw so many bodies you dissected also. You saw so many bodies dying, is it not? These are both of them, doctor. And yes, you thought that I am going to be living forever because I am a doctor. That's what their illusion. I am a Swami, I'm a holy man. But I forgotten also, I am also going to die and you are going to bury me and put me a banana plant or a tomato plant or some flowers on me. I forgot also my reality. I can talk. Just an illusion, this talk also. And the moment I go there, I ask, where is my food and where is my, this not enough salt there, that's not, oh, this coffee is not smelly, oh, that's not enough salt there. I also will follow. I get angry. And I also scold all these people for not making my coffee very well. So that, didn't make the coffee very well today. So I will, oh, please send her out, she's not making my coffee very well. You do that. So you call, you are pain. Just like the watching Hitchcock movie, you are afraid. So this cosmic Maya is creating unbearable pain. No one is free, including Howard Hughes. He could not even get a kidney machine before he died. And he's living like a recluse in the penthouse. He did not even say Bahamas air and water, because he's afraid who is going to take photograph. So he stayed there, and he's afraid of germs, invisible, and he will take about, first tissue he will not take it, because it's come very germs. So he takes 20 tissues from that box, and 30th tissue he will take it. And he will take the soap and wash another soap before he uses that soap. He was really scared of germs, and do not know how much he was scared of that. Unbelievable. And he's afraid of germs anywhere. He looks germs for everywhere. And he's miserable. And the death time, he was like a skeleton, died without anything. Though he was living in the penthouse with all the $1 billion money in the bank. And then his wife was asked at that time, some people said he's going to write his biography, official biography, and then Howard Hughes is a liar, and so he knows he cannot come out, and no one will believe me even they see it. So he called one reporter he knew, Bahamas, Paradise Island, and the reporter recognized his voice. And just one report, that biography is illusion, it is not true, it's not my biography, nor I authorize, and please, this information you must spread. Then the reporter asked the question, are you happy there? His answer was, no, I'm not happy. Why? Because he forgotten the self and identified with this body and $60 billion. So he could not find even one single friend. Same thing with the Kennedy, the Jackie Kennedy and Onassis. Before they were married, they were also walking through our Paradise Island in front of our retreat. There, the big yachts were moved on the other side, you can see, and this side they were walking on the Paradise Island. And then when his son was killed in the plane accident, his only son, he said, I thought money is everything. There's not no meaning to me for my money anymore. He really, and afterwards his eyelids, he cannot keep his eyelids open, one disease. He had to put a tape every morning, early morning, to keep it open. He cannot even keep his eyelids open. With all the millions of dollars, he is unable to keep the eyelids open. No doctor could help. Just look into that. They all believed in the power. Hitler believed in the power. Stalin believed in the power. Mussolini, so also Chinese leader Mao believed in the power. The power vanished. Beauty, like Marilyn Monroe, beauty vanished. And people like money power, like Kennedy and Jackie, etc. They all, even Onassis, one daughter, she's very young, about 30 or 30, she committed suicide. Not recently. She has several $300, $400 million, but she could not find $400 million or $500 million, maybe half a million billion, but she could not find happiness. Because the happiness is not outside, it's your state, ananda. That's when you forget, you suffer. That's called Maya. The Maya puts you all in this illusion, and Manhattan is real, real estate real, beauty is real. This all will change. Satsang is only thing going to remind you, man, look where is the beauty, why you are suffering, why you are running away from the reality. It's like a man running out of the shadow. A man once saw the shadow and the head of the shadow. He said, I'm going to catch the head, my shadow's head. So he moved slowly. When he moved slowly, what happened to the shadow? Shadow moved, the head moved, and even a little faster. And the shadow started moving, the head started moving faster. He ran and ran and ran. And the faster the runs, the faster the head moves away from him. He tried and tried and tried to catch the shadow. And the man stopped. Oh man, what are you doing? I am running to catch the head of my shadow. But you have to run for that. How am I going to catch her? Just stand where you are. By standing I can't catch you. Yes, you can do that. You take your hand and put it on your head. The only way you can catch your head by not running after it. So also, if you run after money, woman, beauty, strength, power, you are running after the shadow. Eventually, like Hitler put the bullet, and the Marilyn Monroe committed suicide, and Onassis' daughter committed suicide. Look into the history itself will tell you this truth. But yet Maya will never make you think like this. Maya think, I am immortal, I got life insurance. What is life insurance? Have you seen life insurance, doctor? It's not life insurance, it is death insurance. If you are not going to die, you won't get insurance. You know that you are going to die, definitely. So it's a death insurance. You are going to die, definitely. Do not just, A1 calling is real, because that's only, not A1 calling, death is calling you. Just putting that little chemicals and the lipsticks and it's not making you beauty. You are the beauty of beauties. Within you, all the beauty in the world is hidden. All the power, all the knowledge, all the strength, all the blood happiness is within you. You are that. That's called immortality. But the moment you forget that and identify, then you are going to suffer death. Like all the people just invited death, then that power. Hitler invited death, so also Marilyn Monroe, and all the people look into history, read history again and again. Just open your eyes, but never think you are immortal, the body is immortal, that I am identified with God. If you don't know what God is, what Atman is, Sachidananda, Vedanta, then take the Bhakti Yoga. As one man yesterday said, why you are not talking about prayer, Swami? Here you are talking about meditation. It's true, prayer is, that's the only thing we can help. The Aham Brahmasmi is only for few people. I am Brahman. Identify with the Atman. We have to transcend all our emotions, lust, anger, greed, hatred, jealousy, envy, fear. We have to transcend that, and that is our state. Only you can identify. We are not ready for that. So stop the lesson, Bhakti Yoga. Don't say, I am Brahmas, I am Brahman. They can say, if we have the capacity, you do that. If not, Dasoham, I am your Dasa, O Lord. Dasoham Tava Keshava, I am your Dasa, O Lord. Surrender to him. One of the same. Aham Brahmasmi, that Vedanta, Bhakti Yoga, I am thy servant. I surrender to thee. Like Meera, the great queen of the Rana Pratama. She renounced all things and went. So also Buddha, the great prince Siddhartha, he had left all his empire and took the begging bowl. They are not fools to do that. A man, emperor, who brought in all the pleasures of the world and he wanted to be the emperor of the universe, his father wants to make him Siddhartha. And he took the begging bowl and became Buddha. He didn't want that, that. So Meera, he had all the luxury, and his king, his husband was the king, Rana Pratap. Everyone was terrified of him. He's got all the power and wealth and so forth. But after some time she said, Rana, I can't enjoy this palace. This beauty, these ornaments, this diamond, this gold, this beautiful silk, etc. is pain. It is like I'm wearing poison, cobra. And this palace is like a prison for me. Just give me my freedom. I will want to dance with Krishna in the streets, in the temples. Mira left. But Rana, he's a great king. He doesn't want to see his wife is moving with ordinary people singing and dancing with Krishna's name. He wants to kill her. Better let her die than live. So he sent poison. And Mira just ran without, he knows it makes no difference for her. She's a Krishna, immortal self is within. She's one with him all the time. The milk become turned into, the poison turned into milk. And Rana sends a garland, beautiful garland for his wife. It is a cobra, but in the past put in a nice beautiful basket. And the moment you open, the cobra is going to buy. But she didn't. She's not afraid of anything because she's completely merged in Krishna consciousness. And then when she opened, that cobra turned into a garland, beautiful garland. God can do anything if you believe him. But if you think you have the power, like Hitler, you put the bullet. That's all. If you think your beauty is permanent, your money is permanent, your stock market is permanent, you will die. You will suffer terribly. So come to satsang, hear these type of things. It's not I'm a great guru, a great Swami, all these flowers because they left near me. I am also just like you all suffering with this Maya. I am also not free from this Maya. But I pray to Lord each time I prostrate before you too, before I sat here in this throne, which they specially made for, I prostrate before, oh Lord, forgive me. When they came, I saw Master's picture was hung in every crow. I saluted Master's picture and touched the feet. I saw some of the picture when I was alive, when he was alive, I used to touch his feet. I had the picture, one of the pictures I saw, I just touched it. Oh, really, I felt I am touching Gurudeva's feet. So I did not just stand here as a Guru, as a Mahatma. I am also just like one of them, suffering with Maya, this cosmic illusion. As Krishna says, Mo Maya Duratya Mami Prabhadande Maya Medam Parante. No one can conquer this Maya, this cosmic illusion. Oh Arjuna, come to me, surrender to me. I will take you across. Only if I can take you, you go. But not your strength. Nobody has got the power to conquer this Maya. If that is the situation, even to Arjuna, his friend, he said, Arjuna, come to me, I will take care of you. But don't just think that you can conquer the Maya. So with that, one small story I conclude. What's the time, by the way? 10? So that's not so bad. So now you have, after this story, you can all go back to your Maya. Think that Maya is waiting. It's okay. As long as you remember that, don't forget yourself, the God, what I'm saying, then you can just go into the Maya. You can't help, you have to go into Maya. No one can escape that, even me. I have the broken knee, broken eyes, and today I had my laser treatment, and I know my God, and Trishwar is going to put the bright light on my laser treated eyes, etc. I thought I got a special, this glass filters ultraviolet, ultraviolet ray. So I got this glass just today, and it costs, how much it costs, this glass? Wake you up. Beautiful. How much is it? $150. That I'm going to start the New York Center. I just bought it because the daytime is the sunlight really, it blurs everything. So it filters the ultraviolet rays. Well, with all these things, I am also suffering just like you. I had to go to the laser treatment. We are flashing. This laser is you can't see it, but I can see when it goes to the blood vessels, it's destroying the blood vessels, which is overgrown over the retina and over the various spots, and destroying. And each time it's like a pinprick, but very powerful, heated, so it can fraction of a second something it burns up the thing. And he's going on flashing, and each time it's pinprick. And after that I came here. I do not I will be able to even to see you. So it was blurred. You are all blurred. But still I can see something, outline of human beings. But that's very good to me. The story is about a great saint. He was not a saint, he was a man who is thinking of only the worldly things, the woman's beauty, and he has got a famous lover called Chindamani. She's a prostitute but very beautiful. and he cannot leave without this prostitute Chindamani. And one night he was leaving his home to reach her at night. It was not only dark, it's full of stormy night. And he had to go to river, flooded river, and to follow a section to reach that. There's no other way conveyance at night, and it's impossible to go in the darkness to see. But his desire is so much that he want to see. Without her, he cannot spend even 1 minute at night. So he left and walked to a forest and so forth. At last he came to a big river, and the river is just flooded, water overflowing to the banks. And yet he had to swim, and at midnight, how can he swim in the darkness and stormy night? Wind is blowing, rain is pouring, and he had to swim across the swollen rivers. It's impossible. But his desire to see this woman is so intense, he didn't care about it. And then he's thinking how to swim, and he saw a dead body floating and washed away, and the dead body smelly. But he didn't even smell the body of the dead body. He just caught her as a raft, and he used that raft dead body. He swam across the river and went other side. And then he walked to the sea, bleeding with the wounds, pricking by various things, animals and ants and mosquitoes, prawns, etc. Whole body is bleeding, and the wounds and scratching, falling in. But he didn't get the body smelling because he was holding a dead body. And at last he reached the house. The house was locked, and she's upstairs and off, but she can't hear because it's stormy night. And then he tried to somehow reach the top floor by climbing, and was looking for a rope anywhere. And he saw a rope hanging. Oh my God, my lover, my beloved Chindamani dropped his rope for me. But it was actually a python. So he just hold the python and climbed to the top, and at last we broke the window, and Chindamani woke up. My God, who is that? And he saw her lover, smelly, ugly, all scratchy, bleeding. And then he says to her, "See how much I love you? I crossed the swollen river. How did you cross the river? I found a dead body, and I put a raft. And how did you climb up here? So you put a rope for me." And he looked, there was no rope. Oh my God, it's a python. He did not know it was a python. He did not know it was a dead body. He didn't care about a river. But his only desire was to see her and spend the night with her. She looked at him. My God, you are not only disgusting, your body smelling like a dead body. You look at the whole thing. You took so much trouble to cross and to see and to be with this flesh. If you use even that 1/1,000,000th of that desire to see God, Krishna, how wonderful it is. You can see Krishna today itself. You are so disgusting. Just to enjoy this body, this fleshy body. Look at the smell. I can't even tolerate it. You are so smelly. When she said you are disgusting, your effort, all this is so bad. He said, oh my God, you opened my eyes. You are my guru. He took 2 needles and poked the eye, which I tried to restore my eyesight by laser beam. He did opposite. He took the 2 needles and poked the eye. And he said, I will not use this eye to see any beauty of this world, not any woman's face. I will see only Lord Krishna. Until that, I don't want to see anything. He destroyed the eyesight. And he prostrated before the O Chindamani, my guru. That prostitute became his guru. That's called guru is not with the 10 heads. Anyone who can open your eyes and make you to realize this immortal self or God, he is your guru. It's not that don't expect that some guru is going to touch you and make you. That's not the guru. It's just except in your imagination. Otherwise, we all will be great saints by this time. But we are still, he's a doctor, and still a Swami is struggling to open my eyes. But only I got my only. I want to see Lakshmipati. My God is called Lakshmipati. Lord Narayana. Vishnu is called Lakshmi. Lakshmi is Pati. Pati means Lord or husband. So the Narayana is the Lakshmi, the goddess, the wealth or prosperity. He is the Lord's Lakshmi's Pati. I want Lakshmipati. Then what I got is neuropathy. And also retinapathy. That my disease is called retina. In the diabetic, they call retinapathy. All blood vessels grows out, bleeds and so forth, called retinapathy. And then neuropathy, I can't walk because I have broken knee, and neuropathy, all nerves are short. So what I got instead of Lakshmipati, I got retinapathy and neuropathy and other pati. They all know, all doctors know various patis, isn't it? How many patis are there? How many lords are there? That's why I'm also suffering. You also suffering. Everyone is suffering. But together let us understand the philosophy. Daswagam Tavakesha. Be servant. Surrender to him. We get no power to conquer this Maya. So learn this lesson and don't run after guru to find guru. You won't find anywhere. You have to work hard, and guru can come in the form of a prostitute, in the form of an old man or a sick man. In the Gurudeva Sivananda's first guru was an untouchable who taught him the fencing. And then second guru was in Surgasana, he was serving. And before that in Malaysia, as a doctor himself, a mendicant came, he took him to his house to treat him because there was no other place. And he taught first Vedanta philosophy to him. This God came in the form of a sick man. So God can come in different forms, sick man, old man, prostitute, wife, your own children, maybe your guru. Children can open your heart. Like Prahlada tried to open his father, he is the most powerful man. Try to open, there is no power over father. He controls all the three worlds, and only Lord Vishnu, Narayana, you surrender to him, your power has no meaning. And his father tried to destroy Prahlada, he only repeated, Om Namo Narayanaya. Father could not touch him. Where is your Vishnu? I want to destroy him. He is hiding somewhere. He is everywhere, Father. But show me one place I can fight with him. I told him that Vishnu, he is trying to hide and he destroyed my son. You are repeating in my enemy's name, Vishnu. You won't even open in my enemy's name. Narayan is my enemy. You are my son. How come? But everyone is afraid. But this Prahlada, young boy, not afraid. He repeats no further. This egoism will destroy you. Please surrender to Lord Narayana. And the father was more angry. The more he tried to destroy his son, he tried to throw him from the mountain tops and put him in the fire, and he was stampeded by the elephant. But nothing could destroy this baby, his son. He himself got the power, but he could not do anything with all the power. He could not destroy his son. Where is that Nara? I am going to destroy him first. He's everywhere. The young son, 7-year-old boy, said, show me. You see in this pillar, the huge pillar, stone pillar in his palace. He is in this pillar also. He's in the pillar also, Father. And he takes his big mace and bangs on the pillar. And there comes Narasimha, the Lord Hari. Why he comes as Narasimha, as incarnate, to destroy the... Because he did penance, Prahlada's wife. And in this penance, Brahma gave boon. He asked Brahma, give me immortality. That's the conclusion story. Immortality. I want to be immortal. No one can kill me. No, I will not die by anything. So give me immortality. That's a boon. Brahma said, that one boon, even I can't give because I myself is not immortal. I have my 100 years of my life, which is about 2 parathas, which is the creation of 5 billion, 10 billion years. It's only he can rule, just like a President Nixon or Reagan, they can only live up 8 years or maximum, and afterward they are no. So how can I give that boon? Ask any other boon. Then he starts, okay, I want this boon. I will not be killed day or night. Okay, you will not be killed by day or night. I will not be killed by weapon. You will not be by weapon. I will not be men or beasts or angels. So you will not be men or beasts or angels. And he did every type of legal documents signed by Brahma. That means he will not be killed by weapons or hard weapons. Okay, be it so. And be it so. So he took everything he made such a way that no one can even come. That power he got, now he is ruling. He drove away the Indra from the heaven and all other angels and so forth. He was controlling all 3 worlds. And his only son, he sent to study from his teacher. And but this boy was not afraid. The whole world was trembling. But the boy only repeated, oh no, Nara. And the father, who taught you this mantra? Oh, this boy was taught when the mother was in the womb, when Narada came, and repeated the mantra. And the boy heard and he remembers that mantra. So he's initiated by Narada. Anyhow, when all the things fade, that's why Narasimha, you cannot be killed by man or animal or angels. So he took half man and half lion. One of the Brahma's boon has been cancelled. Because legal battle, no, he must look into the legal documents. Everything, there's no transgression of that boon. And so he's neither man nor lion. So he took lion's face and man's body. So neither man nor animal. And he cannot be day or night. So he chose the time just at the twilight, just sunsets and sunrise. That's a small period of time called twilight. There's neither day nor night. So and then he cannot be inside or outside, above or below. All right. So he just took him to the door, in between the door. Neither inside nor outside. You see? And then he cannot be killed upside or down, say, you know, lamb. He cannot kill by the weapon, hard weapon, the soft weapon. The claw. Claw is neither hard nor soft, neither wet nor say the claw. And he looked every type of these things and all the legal things, he checked everything is okay. Then he destroyed his father. And then Prahlada, no, even Lakshmi, the goddess, his own consort won't come. Brahma, all the angels were terrified to see this form. Whole world is trembling. Narasimha's form is so terrible it was. And Brahma said, Lakshmi, please go and make that form now. Everything is over. She was afraid to come. Nobody could come. So Brahma called the young Prahlada, 7-year-old boy. This manifestation is because for you to save you, though he saved the whole world, you just go and try to please and bring that old form with 4 hands and smiling face with the food in that hand. Like a lion cub, he's not afraid of mother. So he walks towards the great Narasimha, and the terrible form and the dead body of the father still is pulling up all the chest and the boy, Narasimha saw, he took the boy, put his lap. Are you not afraid? And the boy, Narasimha saw, he took the boy, put his lap. Are you not afraid of this form? The Prahlada says, no, Lord, I am not afraid of this form, but I am afraid of your Maya. Your Maya take me birth in a demonical womb and just bless me. I will no more fear of your Maya. Take away from this Maya. And the Narasimha blesses. The story ends that even such great devotees are afraid of Maya. No sages and saints, no one can say, I am conquered Maya. If I say that I am the greatest liar in the world, I am also suffering by. That's what my whole story. So do not believe anybody says, oh yes, I am a God realized soul. I am a Brahmic soul. I am supreme. I am going to give God realization. Then Gurudev said in his biography, Swami Vishnu-devananda, there's a way you can find out he is a God realized soul or not. Use SB40. You want to know the formula? You can easily find out. SB40. You want to know the formula? Yes. What that means? You can find out. But don't use on me. Okay, that's one. It means, S means shoe, B means beating. 40 times. You take a shoe, an old shoe, and give me 40 beating, you will know that I am a God realized soul or not. If I can still smile after 40 beating, definitely I am a God realized soul. If I even stop after 20 beating, come on, stop that. I hit him with everything I can. Then I am not a God. Yes, God can beat you. God can come in the form of an assassin. As Gurudev, one of his own disciples, came to heal him with an axe. He prostrated before him, violated him. He did not say, Gurudev said, thus God came in the form of an assassin. You think God will come only with a fruit in the hand? He can also come with axe in your hand. That's called a grace. That's what Swami Vishnu-devananda. I lived with him, we all lived with him, That oneness. And he never see anything except God in all. He prostrated before everybody. He even prostrated before me, and I was coming in as my military long story. Anyhow, so remember that Maya overpowers everybody. Look at that Rajneesh who gave in his ashram, everyone is a big illusion. He created a huge base with the old men. He is himself a Jain, he's white he is wearing. He gave everyone to prostitute, to everybody, child, everyone orange. This for us is sacred, though we are not ready. Yet Gurudev's grace, we are sticking to this orange, which is created by our Shankaracharya. It is very sacred for us. And with this, I don't want to do anything wrong. Though I do many wrong things, but still, at least this reminds me, be careful, Swami, you are a Swami. You are very good. It frightens me. No, it is really frightening. Gurudev has given this orange robe. For this very sacred and very holy. But he gave this orange robe because he doesn't like Hindus. He's a Jain. And he wants to destroy the Swami order. He gave this orange robe to everybody. And he himself doesn't wear that. And he gave the title Bhagavan. From Acharya, he himself, the first time he gave Acharya Rajani, Acharya means like Shankaracharya, he gave the title. Then he was not satisfied. He just increased the title to Bhagavan. Bhagavan Krishna, like Bhagavan Rajani. He himself gave all the titles. And then he made beautiful big ashrams. He made all the men, because of the photograph, all the men with orange robes, like Swamis, they named Swami to everybody, and they were all having submission guns and mission guns. And all the women, they're all Ma, they call it. And their girls are all taken their clothes and taken. Big color picture published everywhere, all over. And now everyone thinks, when we see an orange robe Swami like us, oh, he's Rajani's voice. It really destroys the very order. We are suffering. I'm not trying, I'm great. But for at least I got respect, and it's very difficult to get this. Swami means you renounce everything, your wife, your home, your children, your money, your bank balance. I don't have anything. That's what I'm still surviving. And so this kept me alive. This greatest wealth is renunciation. And this robe reminds me constantly, be careful, Swami, don't put any money in the bank. Thank you. And don't buy any house in the rent. It reminds me. And don't live a luxurious life. Don't go to bars and restaurants. They'll fight. Thank you, remind me. And don't get angry with these people, but I do get angry. It's very difficult to conquer my. So that's for the purpose of this formal initiation and Swami. It reminds me this illusion exists, and it reminds me. But you cannot use this type of things, very difficult to renounce. So repeat God's name, Om Namo Narayanaya, and surrender to Him all the time. Doesn't matter where it is, like Prahalada or like Meera. Repeat God's name. Doesn't matter where you are, what type of conditions you are, you will be saved from this Maya. But your own power, don't try. Not anybody can take you across this Maya. Only you can do by surrendering to the Lord's feet. Now I repeat Om Namo Narayanaya, you conclude. Om Namo Narayanaya, 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 Om Namo Narayanaya. Dive deep into silence, subtract them. That is your Atman, your soul, the silence. Dive deep into silence and merge in the silence away from the body and all these illusions, just for a few minutes.